everybody out there. Welcome back to the channel. It's Chris here from JMNC Games, and today we are taking a look at the classic card game Uno. Now, I know a lot of people are familiar with the game. Maybe you've played the game. But even if you're not familiar, we're going to go run through the basics. And even if you are familiar, maybe you think to yourself, well, is that an actual rule? Because this game's been around so long that a lot of people have manipulated the original rules over time. I've actually taken the time to go through the actual instructions that are in the box there, so we can know exactly how does the game work according to the manufacturer. Anyhow, if you haven't already done so, take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. We greatly do appreciate that. It sure does help us grow. And if you're feeling so inclined, you can support the channel directly by heading on over to the application Buy Me a Coffee. Don't even have to sign up for it. You can leave us a little something there, and we greatly, again, do appreciate that. Now let's dive in and take a look at what's inside the box.
The deck of Uno cards is made up of 4 different colors with the numbers 0 to 9. Plus there are special action cards, also of the 4 colors, Draw 2, Reverse, and Skip. Then there is the wild cards, and the wild Draw 4 cards. To set up, shuffle all of the cards well. Then deal 7 cards to each player. Place the rest of the deck in the center of the playing area as the draw pile. Flip over the top card and place it next to the draw pile. This is the discard pile. If an action card is turned up as the first card, Draw 2, Reverse, Skip, or Wild, then there are special actions which we'll go over when going through the actual cards. The player to the left of the dealer will play first. On your turn, take a look at your hand and compare it to the topmost card of the discard pile. You will want to play a card that is the same color as that card or the same type of image. For example, you could have a green 3 in your hand and there is a red 3 on the discard pile. You can play the green 3 on top of the red 3. Once you have played your card, your turn is over and the next player begins. Now, if you look at your hand and you do not have a card that is the same color or the same image or a special action card that can let you play, you must draw 1 card from the draw pile. If that card can be played, then you may do so immediately. If not, then your turn is over and play goes to the next person. Now, you can have a playable card in your hand and you do not wish to play it. You can choose to draw a card instead. If that card that you draw is playable, you may play it immediately. You cannot play any other card once you have drawn a card other than the card that you drew. This continues in the same way. However, once a player plays the second to last card, they must say Uno at some point while they are playing their card. If they do not, and another player notices before the next player takes their turn, you can say, Draw 2 to that player, and they will have to draw 2 cards as a penalty for not saying Uno. If a player is able to play all of their cards, then they win the round and scoring begins. After scoring, reshuffle all of the cards and rotate the deal and first player. Before we look at scoring, let's look at the action cards. First is Draw 2. When played, the next player will need to draw 2 cards from the draw pile, and they also lose their turn to discard. If at the start of the game a Draw 2 card is flipped over, then the player to the left of the dealer will draw 2 cards from the draw pile. They'll also lose their ability to discard that turn, and play starts with the next player in the sequence. The skip card, when played, skips over the next player and jumps to the next player in the order. If the skip card is the first card turned over, then the player to the left of the dealer is skipped, and play starts with the next player in the sequence. If a reverse card is played, then the direction of play is changed. If playing from the left, now play goes to the right, and vice versa. If a reverse card is the first card flipped over, then the dealer starts the game, and play will go to the right of the dealer. If a wild card is played, the person who played it can now indicate whatever color they wish to be the face-up card. This can also be the color that was already in play if they wish. If a wild card is the first card flipped over, then the player to the left of the dealer chooses the color and play starts with them. Finally, there is the wild draw 4 cards. When you play this card, the player following you must draw 4 cards from the draw pile. They will also lose their ability to discard for that turn. The player who played the draw 4 can now also choose what color they wish to be next. There is a small hitch to this card. It cannot be played if you have a card in your hand that matches the color on the discard pile. It's only the color. If you have a matching symbol but not the color and you wish to play the draw 4, you may do so. If this card is the first card flipped over, return it to the deck and flip over a new card. If someone plays a draw 4 and you suspect that that person has played it illegally, you can challenge them. The person who played the draw 4 must show their hand to the person who claimed the challenge. If the person who played the draw 4 is guilty, they must draw 4. If the person who played the draw 4 is innocent, then the challenger must draw 4 plus an additional 2 cards. Now, when it comes to scoring, the player who wins the hand takes all of the points. To determine their score, you'll add up all of the remaining cards in other players' hands. Number cards are worth face value. Draw 2, reverse, and skip cards are worth 20 points each. And wild cards and draw 4 cards are worth 50 points each. If the player has not gone over 500 points, then continue on with another round until someone crosses the 500 points. And that player is the winner of the game.
And so that's the classic card game Uno. Thanks for joining us today. We sure hope you enjoyed our short little explanation on Uno. And if you got any questions, you can drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer those as quickly as I can. And while you're there, go ahead and take a moment to like and subscribe. And if you feel so inclined, you can support us directly by visiting Buy Me a Coffee. Well, now we know the basics, so let's play.